Okay, guys, welcome to the kind of introduction call to ORU. And this presentation actually is going to blow your mind. I mean, you guys have never seen or heard anything like this, and I really mean that. I know that we've been inundated with that type of talk. But, again, apologize for all the dinging noises. It's just people jumping on the call. So, but we actually have no competition with this at all. And this is not MLM. This is not network marketing. It's not a network marketing company. It can stand alone. Everybody gets paid. You don't have to have a certain product, and you don't have to, be at a certain level or have a left or a right or any qualifications like that. So it's not network marketing. So get out your pad and paper. Be ready for an amazing presentation with ORU. Now, ORU stands for One Race United. ORU, One Race United, and it just officially launched in January of 2018, and it has two significances. One is that our entire race should be united one with another. There should really only be one race in this world. The second has more of a spiritual undertone, and that which involves the one race that we run in this lifetime in order to achieve the prize of the high calling of God, or whatever you believe that you will ultimately attain. So two great reasons. ORU and has a great background behind it, and that's what we're all about, is just uniting the races. So ORU will also assist in safeguarding the future of our children by rewarding them, by rewarding us, paying them, paying us, simply for just using the ORU platform. Now, with the millennial generation today, think about it. They're spending over 60% of their lives on their phones or their tablets, mostly social sharing on YouTube, shopping, Instagram, or business-related. Now, why not get paid for doing all that? Now, think back to when Facebook just started. No one could have known how Facebook would have changed the world. It was coming from the MySpace. You guys remember MySpace and how MySpace had such a bad, just a bad history from getting hacked and having perverts and things like that on it. People thought Facebook was just another MySpace. But Facebook was a major paradigm shift in society. And now over 2.2 billion of the world's population has a Facebook account. But let me ask you this. Does Facebook pay you for logging in and surfing their pages? No. And the reason being is because Facebook is structured not to pay nobody but themselves. Think about it. Facebook focuses more on data collection and advertisements. I mean, look at the heat that was brought down upon Zuckerberg 2 months ago. And think about this. Facebook gets paid every time you log in and use their services. Now, how would you like to turn the tables and get paid every time you logged in and used ORU services, which are very similar to Facebook? Would you be interested if I told you that ORU has the potential to be 2 to 3 times bigger than Facebook? It doesn't collect personal data, and that you could get paid just by logging in and utilizing the platform. Most people probably would. I mean, it's simple. The more you log in and use ORU services, the more you get paid. ORU is the world's first global lifestyle and social sharing network, very similar to Facebook, but it's much better. It is the first network in the world that pays and rewards its members for their participation in several different ways. The core philosophy of ORU is to let people do everything that they're already doing on a daily basis, such as communicating, social sharing, shopping, traveling, financial transactions, in the world's first quantum currency that we'll speak about later in the call. And if you use the ORU network for these activities, you get paid for it. ORU pays everyone for doing everything they're already doing on a daily basis. ORU is based on a point system, and the more points you acquire each week, the more money you make. It's that simple. The ORU network is the ultimate experience network, and its features include the ORU Market, which you can sell basically anything you want. You can find businesses in your area at major discounts. You have the ORU Travel, which includes just about every single airline on there as well. You get hotels, flights, including just like every major airline carrier, and vacations. I think even like not Hollywood Studios. One of the attractions are on it, but those are being added more and more each day. Universal Studios, that's what I was thinking of. Sorry, and you can save up 20 to 70% by just being a member. You got the ORU Social. That is the ultimate social network. It's very similar to Facebook. ORU Marketing, so you can promote your own product, your own MLM. If you have an MLM that you're promoting, you can promote that. This is all included in your premium membership. You've got the ORU Money account, which assists with the unbanked and can act pretty similar to a bank account. You have the ORU Graphite Visa debit card, so you can send your ORU funds to your debit card and totally eliminate business credit card fees by accepting the ORU debit as payment. You got the ORU Quantum Community Currency, and this is actually better than crypto. It's light years ahead of cryptocurrency, and we'll talk more about that a little bit in this presentation, but it's backed dollar for dollar. I'm going to say that again. ORU Quantum Currency is backed dollar for dollar. No other currency is backed dollar for dollar right now. You got the ORU Health, which most people are so excited about. We have ORU Prescriptions, which is just about to be rolled out. You'll be able to save up to 75% on your prescriptions just for being an ORU member. And we have over 68,000 pharmacies that we've signed contracts within the United States. So let me ask you this: what would you pay for all of these benefits to be a premium member? I had one person tell me that they pay at least $1,000 a month for this. But all these benefits and more are only $5.95. Let me repeat that. All these benefits and more are $5.95 a month with no monthly contracts. Now, I'll talk more about the compensation plan, but right now I'd like to bring on my best friend and my business partner, who has been a business banker and in the business banking space for over 25 years, understands banking better than anyone, has managed clients with billion-dollar portfolios, a business owner himself, and one of the most loyal and honest people I know. He's the reason I'm involved right now with ORU. I would like to introduce my friend, my financial advisor, and most importantly, my brother, Greg DeSalvo. Greg, you on the call?
I am, and thank you, Dane. And thank you, everyone, for joining the call this evening. And Dane, you're absolutely correct. This is a very exciting time for us. I'd like to touch a little bit about the ORU network in respect to the banking component. I get asked a lot, and through my career, I watched a lot of challenges in the bank space, but none more apparent to me than the unbankable. Unfortunately, at this point in time in our country, we have close to 49 million Americans that are what we in the bank world refer to as unbankable. And what that basically means is these folks do not have the minimum balance requirements. They do not have a direct deposit. They do not have something that any one of the larger financial companies desire from customers. And therefore, it spawned a whole entire new industry of check cashing. And here in Central Florida, we have several. They're seemingly on every corner anymore, and oftentimes collecting 20 to 30% of a client's paycheck to cash it. And even respective financial institutions that I had worked for would charge non-clients $5, $10, $15 to cash a check because they didn't have a checking account. That's what gravitated me the most towards ORU, because the foundation of ORU has banking software in its background that has so much security built into it. It has so many components of social media. But when I know that I can get a client a Visa Graphite card and we can have a direct deposit sent directly to that card, we can now offer everybody a dignified life. And they can pay their bills, and they can do online shopping, and they can buy things at the grocery store. And for $5.95 a month, which is far cheaper than cashing your check anywhere, they find that it gives them a real sense of purpose. I like the ORU travel from the simplest point of it's a private network that we now belong to. So there's absolutely no way Expedia or Travelocity can compete. It's private pricing. I challenge any and everyone to try and price a trip through the ORU Travel. I have done so. I know other members have done so, and it has been very compelling how we see better pricing. Furthermore, you can use the community currency to make that purchase as well. The ORU Health, with an aging population, even my own mom has asked me to look for ways for her to get better pricing on her prescriptions. With the prescription card, we will now say, I actually tested this during our testing stages, where clients that are taking prescriptions can try the product out as far as getting the pricing, the local pharmacy, what if they have it, do they have a generic, and how much it's going to be. That's pretty powerful when we have so many people that are on limited incomes and need to afford their prescriptions. I can go on and on about what I like, but I'd like to introduce you guys to the executive architect of ORU. I've known Mr. Vandenbrickel for over a year now. He was actually a friend and a client of mine. He has contributed to several groundbreaking technologies, many of which we've all used and heard of. Obviously, my experience was in the financial industry, but I know there's a lot of contributions in the medical, government security, social media, and companies that we've all been a part of. Nick was the founder of QuestPrint and First Publish, which introduced the world to just-in-time printing, with Amazon, IBM, and McGraw-Hill as its primary clients. Constellation Biometrics, if you've ever put your hand under a soap dispenser and watched soap come out without touching it anymore, that is one of the companies Mr. Vandenbrickel was the founder of. Clients include Black & Decker, Fujitsu, Royal Shell, Hewlett-Packard, Microsoft, and of course Apple. For those of us that remember the fingerprint on your iPhone 5 security, this is where it came from. Nick has been awarded the 2001 Businessman of the Year by the National Congressional Committee of Business Advisory Council. In 2007, he was awarded the Golden Excellence in Design. He's been published countless times in the USA Today, the Chicago Tribune, Consumer Reports with the Product of the Year, frequent television appearances on the ABC Morning Show, Squawk Box, CNBC, several other talk shows. So Nick, thank you for making time to talk to us tonight, and I am anxious to hear some of the changes that are coming and some of the things that you plan to share with us tonight. So with further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce to you guys Mr. Nick Vandenbrickel. Nick, are you on?
I am on, and thank you for that. That's a humbling introduction right there. I didn't know I was that old. I have more stuff to do. And Dane, thank you as well for having me on tonight. I won't bore you guys too long with all of the things that have really come about to make this network happen, but I'll give you a little bit of history. But before I give you that history, I came up on an interesting statistic the other day. I attended a graduation party. You know, it's graduation time in the U.S. for a lot of high schools, and I attended a party, and this young man who graduated with honors was accepted to a state college, and he had about 27 of his friends over. And as they separated from the adults to have some teenage time, about 4 hours into it, they were pretty much AWOL, and we tried to find them, and we finally located them in the garage where they had set up this gaming thing, and they played this game called Fortnite. Now, for those of you who have kids or teenagers, you may be familiar with this. This is the hottest game that's being played today. So they were all playing, all 27 to 30 of them, they were playing Fortnite, and they had been playing it for 4 hours. What's interesting is as I looked at it, because this is so pertinent to what ORU is doing and the changes that it will bring about, is that on average about 12 million people play Fortnite right now, and the average session is about 15 minutes, and they play about 2 hours of that on average a day. So that's 24 million hours per day. If you put that in years, you're looking at approximately 2,700 years per day of lost productivity. Fortnite makes a killing. They make about $200 million a month. Players really don't make much at all. This is a perfect example of how people are connected to their devices, how they play games. They spend an enormous amount of time on it, but in return, they do not receive any type of benefit. The benefit all goes to the company. That's a very traditional way of doing things. Dane mentioned Facebook earlier. Facebook was fantastic in 2003 and certainly created a paradigm shift. The problem is, again, very traditionally, you have hundreds of millions of people who use it. They spend their time on it. They share their information, which in case of Facebook and many other companies, they take that information, they sell it, they monetize it, whether it's with or without your consent. And they make a lot of money doing so. But I would challenge anybody to find and ask somebody else and say, well, how much did Facebook pay you last week? How much did Instagram, Snapchat, how much did Twitter pay you? So ORU was born out of the need to understand what is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years, in the next 20 years as automation, artificial intelligence, augmented realities, all these platforms continue to take jobs away and have generations of people continue to be very much connected. The traditional way of looking at how you make money doesn't really apply much anymore. You have to find a way to reward people for their participation. Of course, that's very difficult to do if your entire company is based on an advertising model. Facebook could never start paying the people that are a member or are a user of Facebook. As a matter of fact, because of what's been going on with this data invasion and the sale of your personal information, Facebook and other companies are actually looking at charging anywhere from $20 to $50 a month now for you to be on their platform if you do not want to receive the advertising. So a lot of different things are going to happen there. So we took technologies that we and my team have been involved in for close to 30-plus years, and we said, what if we combine all of these things that we've been involved in, finance, health, communication, social interaction, travel, all of these things, what if we put them together in a network, make it a members network, create a monthly membership fee that is ridiculously affordable, $5.95, and what if we then create a model around that where the people who help us be a bigger network, we help them by compensating them for the time that they spend. And that's pretty much it's a very revolutionary concept. When you think about it, you probably all are going to say, yeah, I am spending a lot of time on these networks. I am spending a lot of time on this device. And no, I am not getting paid for it. So we believe that this is a whole new way of looking at how people connect, doing the things, as Dane adequately said earlier, doing the things they're already doing every single day. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you are involved in these experiences, in these engagements. You have your first cup of coffee. You drive to work. You purchase your groceries. You make financial transactions. You would like to travel if travel would be affordable. All of these things you already do. So we thought, well, what if we combine them in a network, make it really affordable, give enormous incentives to our members because we have the ability to do that. So get off 70, 80% of your travel, whether it's hotels, whether it's attractions, car rentals, cruises, 70% plus off of your prescription. The ability for people to sell whatever they want to sell, when they want to sell it, with no fees whatsoever. What would that look like? So we built that, we tested it, ultimately created the network. We then associated our ORU Visa card with it because when you get paid, well, you want to have a method to spend that. Not only can you spend that on your smartphone, but you can also spend it on your ORU Visa debit card. And we believe that this is the paradigm shift as much as people are saying, what's next? What comes after Facebook? What comes after these traditional companies? And we believe that we're really hitting these very, very important notes there. So I'm going to take you through the numbers here real quick. Dane, if you don't mind, shall I take everybody through the numbers real quick?
Absolutely.
All right. So we want to make sure that in light of all of this data intrusion and you not knowing what happens to the data, and quite frankly, most people don't know at all what's happening because there's no disclosure, we want to make sure we're very, very transparent. And we can do that because in our essence, we're very, very simple. We only really have one program. we have a membership program. You become a member, there's a $30 activation fee. That $30 includes $19 that goes directly back to the membership in the form of what we call sharing bonuses. In addition, you get that ORU Visa card as well. So the ORU Visa card gets shipped to your house. Upon activation, you can use it immediately, and you can use it as a bank account. We call it a bank in your pocket. So you can upgrade it for free to get a routing number, to get an account number. And, of course, the card itself has much, much functionality. You can send money from one card to another card. It's great for kids. If you have kids and you want to manage their budget, you can send money directly to the card that they have, etc. So that's the first fee right there, $30. The second one from that, and it includes, by the way, your first month membership of $5.95. So that's how that breaks down. The second fee is $5.95, and that's it, $5.95. Out of that $5.95, $3 goes to what we call our participation bonus. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. So that's $3. $2.50 goes to a residual bonus. That residual bonus is a program we call Protocol. Won't talk too much about that. But Protocol is our residual ongoing payment program for all of our members. So if you shared order with somebody else, and every month when they pay their membership, which could be anywhere during any given month, you get paid for it. And you get paid for it continuously, as long as they are a member. There are no qualifications, as Dane said. There are no legs. I'm not even sure what that really means, but $5.95 is your membership. If you don't feel that paying $5.95 in return for all the benefits you get is enough, if you never shared it with somebody, then you shouldn't do it, right? Those are the only two fees. That's it. That's how it breaks down. Now, the participation bonus is really fun. We've actually been beta testing this for a while, and members who are already in, and if any of you are on the phone call, you know that every Saturday you're getting paid. Well, we're going to make that even more fun. So ORU Score has the ability, because of our technological capabilities, to measure your participation. We don't care about your data. We're not Facebook. We don't have to sell your data. You're never going to get advertising from us, ever. But what will happen is we can see how much you use the network. So whether you log in, use travel, use your Visa card, whether you communicate on ORU Social, whether you buy and sell products, all of these things we can measure. And what we do is we score that. We give you points for it. And the way we do it is really, really cool. We modeled it after a tree. So what happens is every Saturday, you start building your tree. And the more points you get, the more leaves and the more branches you have on that tree. And, of course, that score gets communicated directly to you via your app, as well as on the web page that we have. And we have a leaderboard where you can see, well, anywhere in the world. We're currently in over 70 countries and over 58 languages. So anywhere in the world, who is really participating. So there's a competitive, incentivized notion to it. And at the end of the week, you will have built that tree. And then on Saturday, based on your score, you get paid instantaneously. There's no check. There's no waiting for it. That deposit, and for those of you already members, that deposit is instantaneous, and that money you can use right away, or you can move it to your ORU Visa card, and again, use that wherever Visa is accepted. Now, the cool thing is, and I don't know who all is environmentally minded, but I'll tell you something that's super cool about this. So you have this tree, and of course, every week that program starts again. So you're building another tree. So you're kind of building, a forest. And there's a reason for that. We have partnered with a variety of different organizations. There's one of them is the National Forest Foundation in the United States. And what we're doing is we're actually helping to plant approximately 50 million trees in the United States alone. And there's many reasons why we need to do that, and you can read up about that and you can hear more about it. But every time that you have a tree and you got paid for it, for every tree that you have, we're planting a tree. So not only are you doing the things you're already doing and get paid for it, not only are you participating in a really cool way and get paid for it, but every time you do that, every single week, you're responsible for planting a tree in the United States, and or if you're a member outside the U.S., we have a variety of different places in the world where we do that too. So we make it fun at the same time. So it's competitive, there's an incentive, you get paid, you're doing something good for the planet, and you get to do all the things you already want to do. So that is something we're exceptionally proud of. It's been about 2.5 years in the making, and we're about to launch that program full on in July. So those are just some of the things that are cool about ORU. Earlier I was asked where our logo came from. I think, Dane, you asked that question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so our logo, if you haven't seen it already, looks very familiar, right? And it should, because it's the Greek letter phi, which is the 21st letter of the Greek alphabet. Everything we do in our network has a significance, and because we are tech-based, most of it has a profound technological significance as well. So we chose, many, many years ago, we chose this logo because it is representative for us of another thing. The letter phi, not only is it widely recognized in the world, you only have to do is go to a college in the United States and you probably see a fraternity, Phi Beta Kappa, et cetera. So especially in the college market, the logo is very well known. But for us, what it really means is the golden ratio. The letter phi stands for the golden ratio. And in mathematics, the golden ratio, which is a formula, we actually use that in developing our software products. If anybody on the call has ever heard of Fibonacci or the Fibonacci number or the Fibonacci sequence, these are all mathematical realities. So the logo, what it stands for, very significant to us. And we'd like for everything we do to have some form of significance instead of just picking a name out of a hat and say this is what it does. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is the quantum side of what we're doing. You've heard about the community currency, which we call ORU Quantum, and you'll hear the word quantum a lot. Now, why is that? Well, that particular technology is based on an endeavor that we've been involved in for many years, which is called quantum mechanics or quantum computing. If you haven't heard of it yet, you will hear more and more about it because it's the next level of computer technology. In our particular case, we use quantum technology, also known as quantum entanglement, which you can look up on Wikipedia and learn more if you're so inclined. But we use it to secure our network. We use it to secure our community currency. It is actually much more advanced than what is known as blockchain or what is known as crypto. It is light years ahead of that. And we use all kinds of cool ways within that technology because we happen to have access to it and we have built these networks to secure not only the network, to secure the data, to secure the currency, to secure the transactions, et cetera, et cetera. So I know that for a lot of people, quantum technology is the same as trying to figure out the circumference of the universe. It's a lot to take in. We will be making some tutorials to talk a little bit more about what that technology really is. But understand one thing. Everything that deals with artificial intelligence, supercomputing, augmented reality, virtual reality, ultimately is going to be powered by quantum computing, which is billions of times faster than the fastest computer system today. And we are up to our eyeballs in it. So certainly we have a lot of those capabilities. We have data centers on all 4 continents in the world, the United States, Britain, Europe, as well as Australia. So we're incredibly well covered for as far as how our data moves. And that's what we are ultimately. We started out as a tech company. We still see ourselves as a tech company, simply providing an amazing benefit to our members and do it in such a way that if you either just want the benefits out of it or you really want to share it with other people and participate, there is no ceiling. Like I said earlier, there are no qualifications. There's never going to be a time where somebody's going to tell you, well, you're doing really well. You're getting paid a lot, so now you have to do something completely different in order to continue to get that. That nonsense just simply doesn't exist with us. So that, in a nutshell, is ORU. Very excited about where it's going, and expect us to keep adding benefits. We've really committed to add at least 2 to 3 large benefits a year to the network. We already have many. We'll keep adding benefits to it, and of course, the price will never be higher than $5.95. And that's kind of the summary there, Dane. I think I've brushed on just about everything, unless you have any additional questions that I can answer while I'm on the call.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to also, if you could touch on how the SEC does not regulate quantum currency, and then also is there any competition? Is there another quantum currency out there, or is this the first of its kind?
Well, it's a little bit like apples and oranges. The SEC regulates what are known as securities. So when you look at, for example, cryptocurrencies and/or coin offerings, where people invest in them for the sole purpose of making speculative gains, we're something entirely different. You cannot even put us in the same category. ORU Quantum, our own internal community currency, is much more of a software. It's much more of a utility that can be used as a currency. So it's just a completely different thing. So we do not fall in that category. We're certainly not an investment or a security in that regard. To the best of our knowledge, there's nothing else like it out there because the technology that we use in order to create this is only limited to a few companies in the world at the moment. So, that's kind of my take on it at the moment.
Okay, great. No, thank you so much for your time, Nick. I know you're a busy man. If you have to jump off, you can jump off this call. I can finish it up, but thank you so much, Nick, for being on that and taking the time to explain that to us. One thing I wanted that Nick did not also mention is that ORU only takes 10% of the $5.95 each month. He was breaking down everything. Only 45 cents goes back to ORU. So that's huge. I mean, what companies do you know does that? That gives back 90% to its employees or its reps. So I wanted to also just kind of talk because everyone wants to know, well, how can I make money? How can I make money with this? So that's where I wanted to jump in here and kind of talk about the compensation. And this is really, really exciting. We had to get through the why first, right? The why is what ORU is going to do for the world. Right now, most people's why is the money, but our why is the whole ORU platform, One Race United. But now ORU has a participation referral feature in its name Protocol. This feature pays members when they share the network with others. Now, Protocol is indefinitely wide. You can go as wide as you want, and it has 10 layers deep. There's no qualifications to be paid in this program besides just being a member. Now, this evens the playing field for everyone. I can't tell you how many businesses I've been involved in with people that knew everybody, but they couldn't afford $100, the $100 or the $500 package to even get started. So they just didn't get started. That's $5.95. So this evens the playing field for everybody. You could be a $5.95 per month rep, and you could make $1 million a month. There's no limit. There's no limit to your income earnings based on your $5.95 per month. For each individual a member personally shares ORU with, they receive $10. For each individual who shares ORU with another individual, the member gets $1. And you get paid instantly. There's no waiting. So you get paid $10, and then you get paid an extra $1 for anyone that they refer to on your second level. So for each individual in the member's entire participation group, that member receives 25 cents per month. I know that doesn't sound like much, but these payments are made in real time, and the member we all get notified of payments instantly through the app and through email. But it's very similar to the power of a penny. If you double a penny every single day for 30 days, for a month, it's over $5 million. So this system allows the member to earn as little as a few $100s a month to possibility of hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. There are no ceilings or qualifications, and the member will never pay more than $5.95 per month. ORU has a participation bonus. Mr. Vanderbeckel talked about that. It gets paid every single Saturday to all premium members, and it's based on how often they use the network for their everyday activities. There's no qualifications to receive this bonus beyond just being a premium member. The more the member uses the network, the higher the potential of participation bonus is. Now, there's a neat calculator that's in ORU's back office that can show you your income potential. Now, I did one just the other day. I'm not saying this is what I'm making, but I do have a 14-month plan of this is where I'll be within 14 months of ORU. But I figured if I brought in 20 people only 20 people into ORU. And everyone else who comes through brings in just 4 people. That's it. They don't bring in any more than 4 people. Maybe it's their own family members, because everyone needs an ORU membership to take advantage of all the advantages, including the ORU Health. But then just those 4 people bring in 4, and so on and so on. And we're just talking 4 people, and no one else ever brings in anyone else. After the 10 levels are filled, my income, it's ridiculous. It's over $800,000 a month. And again, this is just for at the 595 level, there's no qualifications that you need. So let me just ask, could you get in 4 people for $595 per month with no contract? I think that's a no-brainer. So we've also created a sales funnel. That includes a landing page, a capture page, auto email responders. We're also working with a company to give digital landing pages in a business card format that's emailed to people that we can talk about. That'll be in an email that we're going to send here in a team email shortly. We use a texting platform. So all this is free of charge, with the exception of texting. There is a little charge for that, but it's free of charge to everyone on our team, on our ORU team. You get the whole marketing system for free. It's a system that would be easily $59, $69 per month, and we just give it to you for free. It'll help you market your ORU and bring in hundreds, if not thousands, of people. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Again, we are doing weekly emails, newsletters to all of our members to keep them up to date of everything new and that's coming out for the ORU platform. Again, the ORU just launched officially in January, and if you want to think back when Facebook was 6 months old, how would you have liked to have been in and been an employee, so to speak, of Facebook? Or a part owner of Facebook when it was 6 months old. So I think we're here. This is definitely a paradigm shift that we're going through right now. So I would like to thank Greg DeSalvo and Nick Vanderbrinkel for taking the time to be on the call. Just make sure you get back with the person who sent this presentation, this call to you, or if you're on it, get back to the person who brought you to this call. So we look forward to you becoming part of the ORU family. Let's be a part of this paradigm shift together. God bless, guys. Have a great night.